Do you ever think to yourself, when I make it, everything will finally be perfect? When I make enough money, get the perfect routine, fix my mindset, life will finally be easy. Then you get there, only to realize that you have more problems to solve and more setbacks to overcome. This is because life is cyclical, not linear. Nature has seasons, and so do we. Seasons of work, seasons of rest, seasons of happiness, seasons of despair. Without one, the other wouldn't exist. And the truth is, life never gets easier. You just get better at navigating through it. Picking yourself up becomes second nature. What used to feel like the world ending just becomes your average Tuesday problem. As humans, we grow, and our ability to solve problems grows too. So you don't rise above challenges by avoiding them. You rise above them by facing them front on and overcoming and adapting. Think about it. When you first started going to the gym, you used to struggle lifting the weights that you now warm up with, or when you went to school for the first time. Some concepts and subjects that felt impossible to comprehend at that point in time is basic knowledge now. Your standards have risen, new benchmarks have been hit, and now you're aiming for something higher. But that's okay, because that's just part of the cycle. A lesson that I've learned in my life recently is that because I thought I had everything figured out, I thought because I was disciplined, I had a positive mindset, and things were working out for me, that life would finally become easier. And it was, for a moment, until I fell off. I started comparing myself to others, and to me it felt like all the progress that I was making or had made was meaningless. It felt like I had suffered defeat. So the highest period of my life became another low again. Then one day I was speaking to a friend of mine. I mentioned my current scenario, and his advice to me was this: do you remember when you would die in Call of Duty and a quote would pop up? Well, one that always stuck with me was, you may have lost the battle, but you haven't lost the war. In life, it's not about having a perfect run where you win all the battles that you face, but it is about picking yourself back up, getting better at taking the punches that life throws your way. You see, this quote and concept ties perfectly into the Stockdale paradox, named after Admiral Jim Stockdale, who was a former prisoner of war who spent several years in Vietnam captivity. During his time in confinement, he discovered the true key to survival in such a harsh environment. Stockdale observed that the soldiers who suffered the most were ones who held on to the idea that they would be rescued by a specific date. They would say, we'll be out by summer, but summer would come and go. Then, we'll be out by the end of the year, but that time would pass too. Every single time their expectations weren't met, hope had faded, and eventually they broke. Stockdale realized that survival required a different mindset. One of unwavering faith that you will prevail in the end, while simultaneously facing the battle that is right in front of you. It means never confusing faith with the reality of the struggles that you must face in the present. It's about finding hope in your journey and keeping discipline even when things don't unfold the way you had expected. True success isn't about perfection, it's about adaptation and endurance. So if you're going through a tough spot right now, ask yourself, am I clinging to a specific deadline or outcome? Because you need to remember, the worst thing that we can lose in life is not a battle, but the will to keep going. You must embrace the struggle without letting that become your story. So stop tying yourself to timelines and start to appreciate the process itself. Now that we've covered some key concepts, let's cover some practical steps that you can apply today. Number one, reframe the perspective. Einstein once said, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. If you feel like you're stuck in life and things feel like they're at a standstill, ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? What could I be doing differently to see a different result? We often find ourselves caught in patterns of thinking that keep us in the same place. Whenever you encounter a roadblock, it is a sign to change your approach or continue and persevere. Sometimes the change is as simple as shifting how we view the situation itself. When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. Number two, focus on progress, not perfection. Perfection is an illusion. Nothing on this earth is 100% perfect. People often fall into the trap of thinking that once they reach flawlessness, then they'll finally be happy. But that's not where happiness comes from. That's actually where despair starts. True fulfillment, on the other hand, comes from understanding and acknowledging the steps and progress that you've made in your own life, no matter how small they may seem. Every day is an opportunity to grow and learn. So as long as you're moving forward, you can be proud of the progress that you've made. And with each step, no matter how small that may seem, you're building a life that's meaningful. Take a moment throughout your day to sit in stillness and reflect on your past successes and progress in your life. Number 3, get clear on your long-term vision. Clarity about where you wish to go in life can help you get through tough times. When you know what you're working towards, every challenge that arises becomes worth it. But when you're uncertain about what you're working towards or why you're working towards anything, then throwing in the towel seems like the easiest option. Take a moment to define your long-term vision. What is the ultimate goal for your life? What do you want to achieve? And most importantly, why do you want to achieve any of these things? Understanding what and why you're moving towards these goals will give you a solid foundation for growth. You will feel more grounded, and this will help you stay on course. When your vision is clear, alignment with your daily actions becomes easy. You know exactly what you want, and clarity helps guide your steps looking towards the bigger picture. Listen, at the end of the day, life will test you. You will have setbacks, but that's just a part of the cycle. Your season of winning is coming. You just need to keep hope. And as we get older, we continue to get better at navigating our way through life. All the people who are at the top, who have seen success, they're not perfect. They just know how to navigate life better than majority. They pick themselves back up when anything comes their way. So start developing that mindset and skill today to help you in the future. I look forward to seeing you grow. God bless.